Everyone, this is Brian Donovan, everyone's favorite Leaf Village ninja.
Hi guys, what's happening? Tim, thanks so much for having me. I love it. It's good to be here, and it's good to finally meet you. You and I, we were just talking before you pushed record that we've known each other for, well, via social media for about 6 years, which is crazy. Yeah, time flies. But I will start by saying that Tim made me this, which is awesome. That is a compilation of some of my characters, Rock Lee, of course, Davis from Digimon, and all the JetX stuff, Shark from Adam. Anyway, thank you, Tim, for this lovely gift that you gave me a while ago. It's on my desk. You'll be proud to know I put my glasses in there, and sometimes a cup of tea.
Hey, I'm glad you use it. Some of the people I send mugs to, they're like, I don't want to use it because I don't want to fade it.
Well, believe me, I thought about that too. I thought about putting it in a dark closet just to keep it from fading, but no, it's held up pretty well because I hand wash it, so that helps. If you put it in the dishwasher, I suspect it'll go quick. But no, it looks really good. You saw it. It looks really good. It looks like it just came out of the box. Still shiny. Yeah, baby.
I had to put the little JetX character in there. It's like, when I tell people, it's like, you do know that he narrated for JetX, right? It's like, no way.
Yes way. Yeah, I know, man. That seems like a distant memory. I stopped doing that in, let me think, 2007, like almost 14 years ago. But whenever I do, like, coming up next, and we'll be right back after these messages, people go, whoa, 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 I know that voice. Yeah, so, but yeah, that was a long time ago. It was crazy. But I did that for 6 years, if you can believe it. I did all the JetX stuff and some ABC Family and Disney, and yeah, crazy.
This was a few years ago. Well, it was when I was still in high school. Some friends were over and we were watching it, and we were watching JetX because, the old Digimon reruns used to just run on there all the time. And when we started hearing the announcer, I was like, that's Rock Lee. And someone's like, how can you tell? I was like, listen to the voice. That is Lee.
Man, you nailed it, dude.
and one of my friends, his name was Parker. He was like, he sounds like Davis from Digimon to me. And then years later, I was watching a reviewer named Azu Otaku, and he said that you voiced Davis. I was like, well, that's why.
That's why. Wow, you guys nailed it. Between the two of you, you got my whole resume. Yeah,
that's actually one of those big surprises that I found out when I was an adult. I was like, wait, Lee and Davis are voiced by the same person? That just blows my mind.
Well, that's the crazy thing, right? Because I mean, if you look at the resume of a lot of, well, certainly voice actors, you just can't believe. Like, I mean, and my resume is not even that huge in the voice world, but you look at some of these guys like Steve Bloom, and you just go, oh my God, they've done everything. You know what I mean? They've done some of the most iconic characters, and they have these incredible resumes, and yeah, it's pretty remarkable. And then then you get giddy, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, he did my favorite show, and he did my favorite character. No, he did that character too. And, it's pretty cool. Cause some of these guys, I mean, I'm cusping about 100 credits on IMDb, but some of these guys have 300 credits on IMDb, and they've done every single anime, every single cartoon, maybe not necessarily the lead, but they've, had a presence on almost all the cartoons and stuff. I mean, my portfolio and my resume is a little more diverse, because I do a lot of different things, but yeah, some of these true voice artists, they got hundreds and hundreds of credits. It's amazing.
I have to ask, who did you like voicing more, Lee or Davis?
That's a good question. I think I don't know. They have a special place in my heart for different reasons. I mean, I think Davis was, my second gig in anime, after Flint the Time Detective. And because Davis and Digimon, because Digimon was such a hit already, I knew I was stepping in and, literally grabbing the goggles and, the baton, if you will, of like this very hit, character and show. And so there was a lot of pressure, but it was also really exciting because, I knew it was a hit. And it was exciting to land that kind of gig. And Davis is he's a great character. He's super awesome. I mean, there's a lot of similarities between Davis and Rock Lee to the degree that they're both super passionate and super emotional. and super loyal, and and learning, as they go, kind of really learning they go, which is nice, because that's life, right? We learn as we go. And so, yeah, I mean, I love Davis for that reason. I mean, he was like my first kind of big hit, and it was just super fun to play him. And Rock Lee, because I've been playing Rock Lee for so long. I mean, it's been, including Boruto, it's been 13 years. And so there's just, because of the longevity of it, and the amount of time that I've been doing it, it's he's clearly has, he's part of my DNA now. I mean, you know what I mean? I've been playing him for so long that he's really just a huge part of my life. Yeah, he's just a huge part of my life. So yeah, different reasons I love him. But they've both been really fun to play. I mean, super fun. And what's not to love about regressing a little bit, is because I played them both as adults. Myself as an adult, and they're both kids, trying to figure out and navigate the world. And so that's really fun to kind of revisit as an adult and play these young characters.
So my next question is, how did you get into voice acting?
That's a great question. I was a DJ in college. Well, before that, in high school, I did musicals and plays and stuff, and basic, kind of theater things. But as I moved along in college, I started DJing at the radio station in college, and that was kind of like a big leap for me, I think, especially in the voice world, because they kind of really got my chops oiled, if you will, for the mic, because you really, you got to get used to it. Like, I think a lot of people think that it's just really easy to do. And to some degree, it's a lot easier than other things in the world, right? But people freeze in front of the mic, and they might be great actors too. And I've seen a lot of great on-camera actors kind of freeze in front of the mic because it's such a different medium. Because it's really just you in a small room, a sound studio with a mic, and you got to pretend all this stuff is happening, right? And that's really hard for some people to kind of figure out, because they're used to acting with other people and other things and props, and with voice acting, it's just you in the studio with a mic and someone maybe talking in your headphones. So that's a really different thing. But I think my DJ days in college really helped me just kind of get used to the mic and have fun with the mic, and just kind of play and get in that imaginary world. So that helped a lot. And I think from that experience, when I came out to Hollywood, I had edited a tape together of my work as a DJ and passed it around town. I had like 35 tapes, and I'd send them all out to casting directors. And that scored me my first gig. One of the casting directors called me up. I didn't even have representation at the time. And they said, "Hey, do you want a one line in a McDonald's radio commercial?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take whatever I can get." And that was my first gig. It was one line. I said, "Ants? I can't believe there's ants at the picnic." It was when McDonald's was trying to sell pizzas of all things. And of course that flopped. It might've had a lot to do with me, not hitting it, but yeah, I mean, anyway, that flopped, but it was a great gig. And then that led me to work with that casting director a couple more times. That led me to get an agent, and the rest is history, as they say. And that was 31 years ago, which is hard to believe.
That's a whole year older than me, so there you go.
Oh yeah, you weren't even born yet when I started, dude. How crazy is that?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, 30. Wow, so you're 30. Yeah, 31. I started in 1990. I delivered a car out to Los Angeles in 1990 and had 2 bags of clothes, a bicycle, and a music box, and that was it. That was my whole life. And then slowly climbed the ladder.
Wow, that's actually really interesting to hear too. Do you have any other favorite characters besides Davis and Lee?
I love playing Shark and Adam. Sadly, the series didn't go more than 2 seasons, but he was awesome. I mean, he's just a surfer dude, so it was really fun to play, and it was an easy twang for me. And it was just really fun. The cast was fun too. Clancy Brown, Tom Kenny, Charlie Slaughter. It was an amazing cast, and so it was super cool to watch Tom Kenny work. SpongeBob, obviously, for your audience who might not know, but and he's a phenomenal voice actor, as we know. And so that was awesome to be able to see him do his thing every week. And it's just next level, man. I mean, what I do well, but he's just next level as a voice actor. Just phenomenal talent. And so, yeah, that was super cool to watch and play. But I don't know. I think Rock Lee, because, again, that we've had so much time with Rock Lee and that character. I keep going back to him just because it's really rare that an actor gets to evolve with a character over that much time. I mean, except for The Simpsons and, there's a couple other series that have gone, and of course soap operas, but there's, it's very rare for an actor to be able to evolve with your character. And because Rock Lee grew up on the series too, that was super cool because they, not only did I evolve as a human being and as a person, and my own timeline went on as a human being, but Rock Lee's did, and he grew up. And so just finding those nuances and finding, the maturity and learning those lessons that Rock Lee was learning. I mean, that's a really rare gift as an actor to be able to be able to play that for that kind of time. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, everything I've ever done there's a few exceptions that have been real turds, been duds, but but I would say for the most part, everything I've done and every character I've played on camera or off has been really, really fun and really a learning experience. You kind of learn every gig that you do, and you learn your strengths, your weaknesses, you learn what you really like to do and play, and maybe what you don't, but you're always learning, which is cool. And I think if you keep an open mind into the work and the gigs as they come, then yeah, you learn as you go, right? I mean, from every job, every experience, being a dad now, it's like you hope you're evolving and not devolving. But yeah, you evolve and you learn as you go. And every acting job I've had is allowed me that same experience to learn as I go, and again, hopefully evolve or digi-evolve, I should say.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
So, another thing I was wondering, if Digimon 02 actually got an uncut dub, left all the Japanese stuff in, but the dub was left intact, uncut, would you come back to play Davis?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that'd be an honor, man. I mean, that'd be super cool. I would love to revisit Davis. It's good. I mean, like some of the old rockers, it's hard to hit those high notes when you get older, but yeah, I would love to play Davis. I mean, I still have a huge place in my heart for Davis and all the things he represented at that time in my life. And again, because the show was so successful, and it was just fun because it was a real buzz around the show. But yeah, I would love to revisit Davis and do that again. He's a great character, and he represents a lot of cool things and qualities and characteristics in life that I really value. So.
Do you have any favorite lines of Davis's that you like?
Yeah, always fighting with TK, and just that banter back and forth, and the wow wow, that the child like the wow wow. But of course, I mean, it's Digi Armor Energize. Come on, guys, we go back to the digital world, which of course I will do for you now. But yeah, it's like Digi Armor Energize. Come on, guys, we got to go back to the digital world. It's like, of course, it was his iconic saying, and it was fun to say. I still say it at every con, every interview, it's just, yeah, it's his trademark, if you will. In fact, I should probably, what are those NFTs? I should probably get an NFT of it, and I can make lots of money. Yeah.
What about any Lee lines?
Oh man, Lee's got some great mottos in life, and I think I like them all. One of his mottos is to be stronger than yesterday. If I have to, I'll be stronger than half a day ago, even a minute ago. I love, hero is not one who's never falls. He is the one who gets up again and again, never losing sight of his dreams. That's an amazing motto. Like, what's not to like about that? And it's a great, I think, life lesson, to keep getting up and up and up after life and, love gets you, kind of beats you up a lot. Because that's life, right? Life is hard, and can be. It's not always hard, but it certainly can be hard. And I think Rock Lee represents a lot of that perseverance and persistence and just getting up again and again and again and never losing sight of his dreams. It's like, I mean, one of, his main thing is, his ninja way is to work hard and never give up. That is my gift. That is my ninja way. Right. And that's Rock Lee, to a T. And so I love them all. And then of course, all that token, Leaf Hurricane, and Primary Lotus and the power of you, all those trademark, coin phrase at Rock Lee. I mean, they're awesome, all the fighting and then, the chakras and, awesome, man. What's not to love about, opening the gates.
Oh yeah, it's a shame he can only open up 6 though.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, still learning, like us all.
Well,
Yeah.
you see what happened to Guy though. He lost a leg out of the deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to be careful. You can't push it. I mean, Rock Lee pushed it with Gara, and it took him months and months and months to rehabilitate. Which is fine. I think sometimes we do have to push ourselves, but yeah, you got to be careful because you don't want to do irreparable damage to yourself. Otherwise, you will never come back from that and never quite heal.
He pretty much became the John Locke of that series, from Lost.
Ah, yeah, nice, dude. Are you a Lost fan?
Oh yeah, big Lost fan.
Yeah. Well, what's your favorite show?
My favorite TV show that's not anime, it'll probably be, laughable, but I'm just gonna say Frasier.
Oh yeah, man. Well, it is laughable. Frasier's funny. That was my mom's favorite show. Or is, maybe. I don't know if it still is, but it was. And so and my sister too, she loved it.
Plus, people tell me I have a resemblance to Kelsey Grammer, so it just kind of.
You do. You
Uh,
do. That's awesome.
I've had so many family members say, you guys got the same shaped cranium. It's like, oh joy.
That's all right, man. There's worse comparisons, dude. Kelsey Grammer's a funny dude.
Oh yes, he is, and he's very what do you call it? Refined.
Refined, yes. Well, at least on the show.
We hope, anyway.
Yeah, yeah, we hope anyways, right. Well, do you lean more comedy or more drama like Lost, like in general?
Well, I just have a mix of things. I like Lost because characters like John Locke really resonate with me because, I have that saying in my mind, people have told me so many years that I can't do this and I can't do that. And I just finally got it in my head where don't tell me what I can't do. So I just kind
Nice.
of use that quote as a life saying now. It's my favorite TV show quote of all time.
Yeah, man, that's brilliant. I mean, that's exactly right. And then, and again, Rock Lee has a ton of those. And, that is his gift, of like motivating, and also having obviously his mentor and sensei Guy. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And I love that quality, and you and Rock Lee and John Locke. I mean, yeah, don't let anybody, I often say, don't let the world tell you who you're going to be. You tell the world who you're going to be, and it's, yeah, you got to believe in yourself. And it's not easy to do that. I mean, it's, often we got to pick ourselves up and we got to drag ourselves out of bed, and make it happen that day. But yeah, you tell the world who you're going to be and what you can do, and don't let anybody do that. And find cheerleaders that will support you in that way. I mean, that's been a huge message of mine, with my film, as you know, with Kelly's Hollywood and with the characters I've been lucky enough to play. It's just, that is the message. It's like find your cheerleaders, and lift people up, and find people that lift you up and believe in you, and support you in that way. And then, with that support and cheer, people accomplish remarkable things. They really do. And they'll always surprise you if you provide them opportunity to do so. And yourself, I surprise myself all the time too. With the things I've accomplished or haven't accomplished. I mean, they don't all come true, and dreams don't all come true. They change and morph, and we have to adjust and be adaptable. But if you pursue and you do something every day and work hard like Rock Lee, towards your goals and your dreams, they will come true to the degree that you'll push that line further forward, and that's pretty remarkable. Yeah.
So, on another subject, Kelly's Hollywood, I thought it was a very beautiful film.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, for your audience, it's a movie about my little sister Kelly, who was born with Down syndrome, and she was born 2.5 years after me. That's my little sister, my awesome sister Kelly. Um, she passed away about 11 years ago now, but she's an amazing human being. I made a movie called Kelly's Hollywood about her, and it was on Showtime, and now it's on Amazon. And yeah, it's just yeah, it's a love letter to my sister. It was, she's a remarkable person, and I think in a lot of ways, for me personally, personifies an authenticity and believing in yourself that we were just talking about. Really believing in herself, even though society and was labeling her or telling her what she couldn't do, just like and those experiences that you had, and my sister saying, I'm going to do it, and she did. I mean, she had, talk about creative visualization, man. I mean, she had an idea of who she wanted to be in this world, and she made it happen, and consequently, because of that energy she put out in that way, people wanted to lift her up, and help her achieve those things, which is pretty amazing. But thank you for watching it, man. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I watched it when it aired on Showtime, and I don't cry at a lot of things, but boy, did that it just hit me with the tears right away. I mean, it was just so beautiful, It's just, I'm actually getting a little worked up thinking about it right now.
Well, thanks, man. I know I often joke as like, you should probably have some Kleenex by your side if you watch it, because not everybody, I don't know if everybody's cried watching it, but yeah, I mean, it's funny when my favorite movies from my own youth and young adult life, are always the movies that made me laugh and cry within minutes, right? And you're laughing and then you're crying and then you're laughing again. And I always thought, if I ever made a movie, like I would want it to be that kind of emotional roller coaster ride. I would want it to be that powerful. And lo and behold, Kelly's Hollywood, is that, my sister makes you laugh. I mean, she's a funny protagonist, and she's got some zingers. And then, but next thing you know, you're crying, and then you're laughing again, and you're crying, and and yeah, it's that ride that I always appreciated as an audience member. And as a filmmaker, I strive to like make it that entertaining and engaging in that way emotionally. So yeah, I appreciate that, man. I think, it's funny. I've had a lot of people reach out, and a lot of women, wives that have been like, my husband and I watched your movie last night. I get these messages via, whatever, email, they'll find me an email or social media. And they'll be like, yeah, my husband and I watched a movie last night. And, it'll be ... I've never seen my husband cry, or my husband, he's a tough guy, and he cried before I did, or whatever. They'll unearth this emotional experience that they had or witnessed with their husband, that they've never seen cry before, that the film affected them that way. And so that's super gratifying for me, because I think it's a testament to the power of my sister, and and certainly the love that we had, but just also the life that she lived, and I think it really resonates with a lot of people. So
I think what it is how it emotionally moves people so much is because they see how far you're willing to go for your sister and how much you did love her and how much you still love her today. And I think that just shows that there is somebody out there and that they are listening.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, look, you give, you get. I mean, as much and as supportive as I was for my sister, she gave me so much, and lifted me up in so many ways. And so, I was very fortunate to have that relationship in my life where it was this constant, lifting each other up, and yeah, my sister was a gift in every way. I wouldn't be half the man I am today without her. As cliche as that sounds, I can't even imagine my life and who I'd be without my sister, and that love that we gave each other and had for each other. And also the fact that there was an adoration there, and an admiration, and also a cheer, I mean, to be that fortunate to have a cheerleader in your life from such a young age, and someone that really believed in you. She believed in me and I believed in her, and we just kind of cheered each other on throughout our lives. And that's something special. And I recognize that. And I also think, to your point, I think, and the audience who's watched the film, is seeing something special too, and really recognizes it as such. So, yeah, I mean, my sister's a remarkable human being, and so fortunate to have her in my life. But that's, again, that's my kind of my point and my message when I speak about the film. I was like, cheerleaders are out there, people that support you are out there, and I know there's people that lift you up and believe in you and support you for exactly who you are, and make you better. I mean, I think that's the true gift, is they make you better. They make you want to be a better person. And they make you want to evolve. But they're out there. And I think I encourage everyone to find their cheerleaders, find people that support you and your dreams. And move away or walk away from people that don't. Not everybody can do that, as well as I do. When you're a kid, it's a lot harder to do, because, sometimes you're in a household that's maybe not as supportive as you would like, or parents that aren't as supportive as you would like. And it's hard to walk away from that, because they're your parents and it's your house, and you don't, you can't take care of yourself. Maybe you can at 15, 16, 17, but, when you're 18 or when you're old enough to find the supportive people in your life, if it's not your own family. And a lot of people do have wonderful supportive families, but I encourage people, when they can, to make sure that they sculpt a world around them of friends and family that do support them, and to walk away from people that don't, because life is too short, for that toxicity and that negativity and things like that. So who do you think has been your biggest fan, your biggest supporter?
Honestly, I think it would be my son.
Ah, that's awesome, dude.
He makes me want to continue living, makes me want to push myself upward.
That is really one of the most beautiful things I've heard all year. Yeah, man, I love that answer. That's exactly right. I have two little boys, as you know, and it's the same thing. They make me want to be a better human, make me want to be consistently a good role model and mentor, and to live life in a way that is an example for them, and how I would like them to be, men in the world, and that's a huge responsibility as a parent. But it's a remarkable gift to be able to do that. What would you say are like your top three qualities that you would want to see him grow up to have?
Well, I would like him to know that he could do anything, that if he sets his mind to it. Just don't let anyone tell him what he can't do.
Yeah.
I want him to be strong, which he
Yeah.
already is. He tries to challenge me all the time. He's
That's
and
awesome.
not to let anyone bring him down, because he's autistic, and a lot of people, some people that were in my family, have said that he can't do this or he can't do that. And I tell him, I always say, don't let anyone tell you that. Don't let that thought ever get in your head. You can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
And just stand above it all. Always
Yeah.
walk into the line of greatness.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, yeah. I like that one. That's beautiful.
And then finally, probably not be as stubborn as me, because, I am very stubborn.
Yeah.
And
Stubborn can get you into trouble.
oh yeah, I am very stubborn, and I don't want him to have too big of an ego.
Yeah. Yeah. That can
I
get
want
in
him
the
to
way.
be I want him to be humble.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great quality. I mean, it's, we're all trying to find that line between ego and narcissism and humble modesty. Because I think you have to believe in yourself, right? You have to cheer yourself on. And you have to have a little ego in the world, knowing that, believing that you have this, something to offer the world. But yeah, to do it without modesty and humble, and just be, a stubborn little bull, that can get in the way. That can definitely get in the way.
Well, I'm a very stubborn person, and you've probably noticed over the years that I'm the type of person that I know what I want, I'm going to go for it. Because
Yeah.
I remember when I sent you some movie cases a few years ago, and they got lost in the mail.
Yeah. That
And,
was brutal, dude.
and I was like, well, I'm going to send them back. I'm going to buy new ones and then just send them to you.
Yeah, that was amazing. And I felt so bad about that because I mean, it doesn't happen often. It does happen, obviously, because it's got to try to get to me and find me and stuff. But yeah, that was brutal. I felt so bad, but I did. I love that you wrangled them, you got them again, and you resent them. I mean, that's persistence and tenacity and perseverance, and all those things again that Rock Lee represents. But yeah, pretty awesome quality, man. Hey, I got like 3 or 4 more minutes, so make sure you ask anything else that you want to ask before we have to close up, because I don't want to end abruptly.
All right. Well, I think we have gotten enough. I just want to thank you so much for coming on. It's been an honor.
Oh, dude, of course, man. And again, thank you so much for having me, but also all your support through the years. My gift, my cup, I will show your audience again how awesome that is. I love it. And yeah, man, it's been great getting to know you through the years and celebrating, your baby boy who's now 6, which is nuts. But yeah, man, you've been a huge supporter of the show and me and all that I've done with the film and stuff too. And so thank you for all that. And thanks for having me, man. It's been great to finally meet you after all these years and not just via social media. And best of luck with the show and all the other interviews and that you start to compile. I mean, it's pretty cool, man.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right, buddy. Take care, man. All my best to you and your family.
You as well.